Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. For the first time in many days, Ningxiu returned to his home. Looking around, everything was brand new. The house, the furniture, even the underground chambers had all been rebuilt. Ever since Ningxiu became the black market master, the speed of the home's reconstruction had skyrocketed, accelerating more than tenfold compared to before. More critically, the arrays in the house were now interconnected with the great array of Fire Persimmon Immortal City, allowing them to leverage the power of the great array for formidable defense capabilities. Previously, Ningxiu's home had been destroyed in an explosion. If a similar attack were to occur again, the defensive arrays would ensure that it would not suffer the same fate. In the small courtyard at home, Ningxiu gathered his classmates from the renovation team and began reviewing and purchasing their mechanism artifacts once again, followed by sharing his insights on spellcasting. Everyone listened intently, except for Ning Jai, who appeared attentive but was actually daydreaming. When it was time to conclude, Ningxiu, in a rare display of earnestness, addressed everyone. "There's something that I'm sure you all have already heard. Yes, yesterday I publicly testified that Ning Xiaohui injured me accidentally during the previous battle, and it wasn't intentional." As soon as Ningxiu brought up this topic, everyone's expressions changed dramatically. Ning Yang clenched his fists in indignation. "Xiu, was it the main line that forced you? Don't worry, we're all with you." As soon as Ning Yang finished speaking, others chimed in. Ning Xiaohui was really too much. If it weren't for her interference, we would have already defeated that mechanical monkey. If worst comes to worst, we'll stir up trouble at the clan hall again. Ningxiu raised his hand and gestured downward several times, immediately quieting the courtyard. Ningxiu let out a deep sigh. The internal conflict between the Ning family's main line and branch lines has come to this. To tell you the truth, the Ning family clan leader personally came to negotiate with me, offering a substantial sum to have me prove Ning Xiaohui's innocence. At first, I was unwilling, but then I thought about the Ning family, about its reputation. If I held onto this grudge against Ning Xiaohui, provoking a feud between the main and branch lines, wouldn't that make us a laughingstock to outsiders? Sigh. As much as Ning Xiaohui wronged me, I cannot let the family's prestige suffer. So I accepted the bribe from the Ning family clan leader and even raised the price significantly. I publicly testified for Ning Xiaohui, choosing this way to resolve the matter. I'm telling you all this now so that you won't dwell on it anymore and instead focus your energy and time on your own cultivation. Ningxiu's words deeply moved everyone. "Xiu, you've sacrificed so much for the family." Ning Yang exclaimed. Ning Chen wiped away tears. "Xiu, you really bear the burden with fortitude, but who can understand your heartfelt intentions?" Others. "Xiu, I misjudged you. I thought you were bought off by the main line's money." "Xiu, with such a magnanimous heart, you're prone to suffer losses. Those in the main line should really learn from you. No one else commands my respect like this. Xiu, from now on, I will follow you wholeheartedly." Seeing the excited expressions in the courtyard, Ningxiu noticed that the life-hanging thread above their heads was expanding and becoming more solid. In an instant, Ningxiu was touched, and a sudden flash of inspiration struck his mind. He suddenly understood. To strengthen and deepen the life-hanging thread, more recognition is needed. The higher the level of recognition, the more solid and stable the life-hanging thread becomes. This recognition is actually mutual. When I understand someone, know their past and present, and anticipate their future, that's recognition. Once I recognize them, the life-hanging thread is planted. And when the recognized person acknowledges me in return, the life-hanging thread gets reinforced. Moreover, recognition is not expectation, nor is it submission. Recognition is simply recognition. The enlightenment that came was sparse, but it was the final piece of the puzzle. In an instant, the budding form of the life-hanging divine ability began to bloom. White lotus roots as translucent as jade, green leaves, vibrant and dripping with color, pink petals radiant and vivid. White roots, green leaves, pink petals. The life-hanging divine ability, it had succeeded. Complete success, no longer just a prototype, but a fully realized divine power. Divine power, divine power. Ningzhu was filled with boundless joy, his heart raced. He was just in the qi refinement realm, yet he had mastered a divine power. What an extraordinary achievement. If he were to announce it, no one in the immortal city would believe it. After all, most golden core cultivators never attain a divine power in their lifetime. But soon, Ningzhu shook his head and reminded himself, this doesn't really count for much. It's not like I discovered it on my own, I took a shortcut. It's all thanks to the legacy of the 3 ancestral masters that I advanced so rapidly and finally mastered the complete life-hanging divine ability. Also due to my mother's dying words, which set my ambition to take the Magma Fairy Palace. That's the basis for all my recent progress. Mother, thinking of his mother, a few strands of grief rose in Ningzhu's heart. You couldn't have imagined this, could you? Even in the qi refinement realm, your son has mastered a divine power. Suddenly, in this moment, Ningzhu felt vulnerable. He wanted to share his hard-earned achievement with his mother, but he couldn't. His mother was long gone and he had no memory of his father. Luckily, he had someone else to share it with, in the underground base. Ningzhu met with Sun Lingtong again. Elder son, I did it. I've mastered a complete divine power, the life-hanging thread. Really? Sun Lingtong's eyes widened, then he joyfully raised his arms. Ha ha. Little Zhu, given your nature, if you say so, it must be true. Impressive. You're truly impressive. Mastering a divine power at the qi refinement realm, if word gets out, the major sects will definitely fight over you. Little Zhu, you're a genius, a true genius. Ningzhu laughed heartily a few times, then lowered his head and took a deep breath. Elder, you flatter me. I know I still have a long way to go. This divine power came from the illusion true lotus seed. I just got lucky and happened to obtain them, using them on myself. Sun Lingtong opened his mouth. Little Zhu. Ningzhu ignored him, continuing to modestly downplay his achievements, gradually calming down. Sun Lingtong watched him with a smile the entire time, gazing at the genius young cultivator he had nurtured since childhood. Suddenly, Sun Lingtong had an epiphany. Ningzhu's humility had taken root deep within him, becoming a part of his nature, a powerful tool for quickly adjusting his mindset. Only when Ningzhu stopped rambling did Sun Lingtong speak. Come on, tell me about the wonderful applications of the life-hanging divine ability, young man. Ningzhu scratched his head and giggled. With the complete divine power, I can feel a qualitative change. A qualitative change in every aspect. It's hard to explain with just words. How about this, elder son? Let me demonstrate for you. As soon as he finished speaking, Ningzhu used the life-hanging thread to transmit some information to Sun Lingtong. Sun Lingtong instantly received the message. Just like the dragon turtle fire spirit conveying crucial information to the trial disciples through the life-hanging thread, Ningzhu could now do the same. Ningzhu then cast a supportive spell. The spell traveled along the life-hanging thread, directly enhancing Sun Lingtong. Sun Lingtong's hair stood on end, his body swelled, growing at least 13 times its original size. His muscles nodded while his face remained unchanged, still a baby face. Sun Lingtong. Ningzhu directly controlled the life-hanging thread. Sun Lingtong tiptoed, his buttocks raised, and started dancing involuntarily. Sun Lingtong. All right, the divine power is indeed powerful. No need to test any further, little Zhu. Sun Lingtong felt something was amiss and stopped Ningzhu prematurely. Ningzhu let out a sound of regret and quickly said, Elder, let me try one more thing, just one more time, I promise. Sun Lingtong sighed. You're impossible, hurry up then. Ningzhu giggled, focused on Sun Lingtong for a moment, then took a second look. Finished? Sun Lingtong asked, baffled. Ningzhu nodded. Yes, done. He continued to explain. Elder, you might not have felt it. Just now I removed the life-hanging thread and set a new one on you. Sun Lingtong suddenly realized. Does this mean you can use it in actual combat? Ningzhu nodded emphatically. It seems so for now. The range, time, and difficulty of setting the life-hanging thread have all drastically decreased. Of course, the most crucial factor is still the level of mutual recognition. Sun Lingtong clapped his hands in joy, then frowned. Mutual recognition. Ningzhu didn't hide anything, sharing all his understanding and insights about the life-hanging divine ability with Sun Lingtong. After listening, Sun Lingtong felt he had gained much. Little Zhu, you have great comprehension. Sun Lingtong sincerely praised. Ningzhu, I still have a long way to go. Compared to true geniuses, I'm nothing. Sun Lingtong. In the Ning family clan land. The door to the cultivation secret room opened. and Grandma Ning Xiaohui entered, her expression full of pity. Xiaohui, my dear Xiaohui, have some food. You can't go on without eating or drinking. Ning Xiaohui, emaciated, slowly turned around, her expression numb. Grandma, why did I hurt Ning Zhuo? I don't understand, why would I do such a thing? Seeing her granddaughter so anguished, Grandma Ning Xiaohui felt her heart shatter. She hurried to Ning Xiaohui's side, opened her arms, and comforted her beloved granddaughter. Ning Xiaohui curled up in her grandmother's embrace, crying for a long while before calming down. Xiaohui, I've discussed it with the clan leader, her grandmother said gently. We don't need to enter the Immortal Palace's soul trial anymore. Nothing good comes from associating too closely with Ningzhu and the branch lines. Starting tomorrow, you will join the family team and enter the Immortal Palace together. Ning Xiaohui looked up at her grandmother. After a long time, she nodded slightly and softly replied, Okay. Only then did Grandma Ning Xiaohui let out a sigh of relief, feeling a bit more at ease. Ningzhu, Grandma Ning Xiaohui gritted her teeth. You've made my granddaughter suffer so much. One day I will make you pay back 100-fold. Magma Fairy Palace. The second transit hall, the second Dao door. Wahaha! Meng Chong laughed heartily, standing with his hands on his hips and his head held high, extremely pleased. Standing behind him, there were still 7 or 8 puppets, each with some damage. Though they looked disheveled and broken, each one was extraordinarily excited and cheered joyfully. We passed the test again. A new record, this is a brand new record. We are still in the lead. The Ning family's Ningzhu team is the closest to us, but they have just barely reached the first Dao door. We have a huge advantage. Truly worthy of immortal aptitude. The members of the City Lord's renovation team looked at Meng Chong, full of admiration. They knew very well. Meng Chong's significant contribution to this achievement was absolutely crucial. Though Meng Chong's childish and straightforward nature made many cultivators look down on him, they had to admire him and his immortal aptitude. Frenzied rushing thunder, its broad applicability and strong power achieved what others could not. Magma Fairy Palace's main hall. The dragon turtle fire spirit lay atop the throne, its gaze penetrating layers of walls and floor tiles, witnessing the celebratory scene. It snorted angrily. The people from the City Lord's mansion had already entered the second transit hall, but until now, none of them realized something was amiss. If there was only one door, what was the point of setting up such a transit hall? However, this anomaly had gone unnoticed by others. The dragon turtle fire spirit knew the reason well, because in the transit hall, Yuan Dasheng often appeared, leading everyone to incorrect assumptions. There was no appearance of that mechanical monkey. How great. I've heard that the team formed by 3 families was ambushed by both mechanical monkeys and servant ghost puppets, causing a devastating defeat because they had too many people. I heard they almost won, but because Ning Xiaohui sought personal revenge, she missed the crucial opportunity and delayed the battle. Damn it. Meng Chong clenched his fists, full of regret. In his understanding, such transit halls were often guarded by mechanical monkeys or servant ghost puppets. Meng Chong eagerly anticipated another fierce battle with Yuan Dasheng, but recently he had encountered mechanical monkeys far too infrequently, leaving him longing for it. Without Yuan Dasheng, the transit hall appeared empty. Meng Chong stepped forward to push open the second Dao door. The renovation team cultivators hurriedly stopped him. Young Master Meng Chong, don't always rush ahead. Let us push the door, we will do it. Yes, if there are mechanisms behind the door and you get seriously hurt, our exploration will halt here. After passing the first transit hall, we didn't find any preparation rooms. Young Master Meng Chong, please be cautious. They had to admit, Ningzhu's various mechanisms and traps had left them with an extremely deep impression. You worry too much. Meng Chong brushed everyone aside and walked to the door again. If there's really a trap, I'm the one who can break it the best. You all stay behind and watch me clear this stage. Ha ha ha. Meng Chong laughed heartily and energetically, but as he pushed the door, he immediately let out a puzzled sound. Huh, what's wrong? The other cultivators were very nervous. In the next moment, Meng Chong laughed even louder, more openly. I found the follow-up cultivation technique. As long as you touch this door, you can obtain the key information. It's the follow-up from the 4th to 6th layers of the 5 elements qi regulation art. Meng Chong's words delighted everyone. They had been stuck at the peak of the 3rd layer for some time now, feeling very frustrated. Now, they finally obtained the follow-up cultivation technique, allowing their stagnated cultivation to get back on track again. The door won't open. You need to cultivate to the peak of the 6th layer to open it. Meng Chong felt a bit regretful, but everyone else was joyous and excited. Watching their reactions, the dragon turtle fire spirit anxiously scratched the back of the throne chair with its claws. It wanted to tell them that besides the Tao Gate, there were also the Demon Gate and the Buddhist Gate. Unfortunately, the dragon turtle fire spirit's authority was limited, unable to interfere in this matter. While it was feeling frustrated and angry, the mastermind behind all this, Ningxiu, was summoning the trial disciples mark. Here it comes. I see it. In Ningxiu's vision, he saw a life-hanging thread descending from the sky, falling above his head. Divine skill, life-hanging thread. In the next moment, Ningxiu activated the full divine skill. The life-hanging thread from the magma fairy palace was violently affected, swaying like a willow in the wind, unable to fall onto Ningxiu's head. Sensing the anomaly, the dragon turtle fire spirit immediately focused its gaze. When it saw this scene, it couldn't help but blink continuously, feeling like it was dreaming. Was this for real? Ningxiu played with the life-hanging thread from the magma fairy palace, smiling lightly. He stopped interfering, allowing the life-hanging thread to cling to the back of his head. In the next moment, Ningxiu once again influenced the life-hanging thread, letting it extract his soul, speeding up his entry into the fairy palace. This strange sensation came again. The dragon turtle fire spirit couldn't help but wonder, instinctively standing up, its dragon eyes bulging to a ridiculous degree. Room 1. Ningxiu swiftly assembled his puppet body, jumping down from a pile of mechanical components. Now he was quite familiar with his puppet body, his movements graceful and no longer stiff as before. Room 1 wasn't just occupied by Ningxiu. Young Master Ningxiu. The Zhou family's renovation team saw a big-headed puppet approaching and immediately recognized Ningxiu. Ningxiu. Leading this small renovation team was the Zhou family's one of the geniuses, Zhou Zhu. Ningxiu had a closer relationship with Zhou Zeshan, so he had less contact and communication with Zhou Zhu. Besides, Zhou Zhu was a taciturn person, and few were close to him. Understanding Ningxiu's strength, even Zhou Zhu, who was extremely reticent, proactively suggested cooperation at this moment. Ningxiu declined politely. After all, I am from the Ning family. I apologize, friends of the Zhou family. A puppet beside Zhou Zhu immediately spoke. Young Master Ningxiu, we all know you were forced by the Ning family's main line to claim that Ning Xiaohui attacking you was just a mistake. But all of us, everyone who participated in that operation, knows that it was not a mistake. It was intentional. Luckily, this is a trial checkpoint and we have puppet bodies. If this had been outside the fairy palace, she would have been your murderer. The Zhou family stood up for Ningxiu, unaware that Ningxiu was the mastermind behind it all. Ningxiu sighed deeply, did not respond, but cupped his hands in thanks and then pushed open the door, entering room 2. He hid among the renovation team. With his current status and reputation, exploring the fairy palace alone would not arouse any suspicion. Relying on spells, Ningxiu skillfully avoided all mechanisms in room 2, quickly standing before the second door. The Zhou family cultivators followed closely, entering room 2. They witnessed Ningxiu single-handedly clear the entire stage. Impressive. I didn't expect young Master Ningxiu to wield spells with such ease. It's truly effortless for him. No wonder he holds a workshop intermittently, sharing his spellcasting experiences. Every time, our Zhou family's renovation team greatly benefits. Ningxiu turned and saw the life-hanging threads on the heads of Zhou family's puppets. These were all previously planted by him. Basically, all cultivators in the three-family united team had been visited by Ningxiu, each with a life-hanging thread. At this moment, Ningxiu clearly noticed. The life-hanging threads on every Zhou family member were rapidly thickening. Everyone is recognizing me more deeply. Ningxiu waved at the Zhou family, then pushed the door and entered room 3. Ningxiu had become famous. He was the black market master, who had unseated his own young clan leader and was at odds with the Ning family's main line. Every event involving him was highly topical. In the recent united battle, although ultimately defeated, Ningxiu had performed the best, leaving a deep impression. Even after analyzing the battle, everyone found that Ningxiu had clung to the smoking chariot, showing flaws in his battle command. However, these flaws didn't overshadow his overall brilliance. Now, even within the large three-family united team, Ningzhu was a heavyweight, not to be neglected. Ningzhu acted alone, passing through several checkpoints consecutively and reaching room 8. Here, he reunited with the golden-blooded war ape Dasheng. After that, he used Yuan Dasheng to break through effortlessly. To prevent any surprises from behind, he also borrowed Qibai, who hid in room 8. Anyone trying to catch up would be eliminated by Qibai. Each time, Ningzhu let Yuan Dasheng open the door first, meticulously ensuring no mistakes were made. Soon, he and Yuan Dasheng arrived at the second transit hall. Meng Chong and others had already vanished. Having finally obtained the follow-up cultivation technique, they were busy advancing their cultivation. Though they couldn't open the Dao door, it didn't imply Ningzhu couldn't either. Ningzhu pushed open the second Buddhist door. Seeing his seemingly effortless demeanor, the dragon turtle fire spirit ground its teeth in frustration. Behind the second Buddhist door, the first checkpoint was already familiar to Ningzhu. Here he had to choose 9 materials, then use limited tools within a limited time to arm Yuan Dasheng as much as possible. After that, he had to use Yuan Dasheng to pass various tests. During this period, Ningzhu couldn't control Yuan Dasheng, only allowing its spiritual nature to act. But now I have the divine skill. Life hanging thread, let's see your power. Ningzhu boldly activated his divine skill. Dragon turtle fire spirit. It was utterly shocked. At this moment, it finally confirmed that Ningzhu mastered the complete divine skill life hanging thread. The fairy palace erupted again. Dazzling flames and soaring magma reflected each other. The roars of the dragon turtle fire spirit reached Meng Qiu's ears, causing him to frown slightly. What was going on? He heard the sound of panic in the roar. The life-hanging thread was effective. Even without using the Buddha Heart Demon Seal, Ningzhu easily commanded Yuan Dasheng, cheating through every test. Despite Yuan Dasheng's intelligence, retaining its past habits, it disliked spellcasting and preferred close combat. This flaw was eradicated by Ningzhu's cooperation. On this day, Ningzhu broke through 3 stages consecutively, reaching the third transit hall. He touched the Buddhist door, the Dao door, and the demon door one by one. The mirror stand spirit communication technique, 5 elements chi regulation art, and demon-infused bloodline technique from the 7th, 8th, and 9th layers all fell into Ningzhu's hands. Before leaving, Ningzhu thoughtfully raised the stone walls of the Buddhist and demon doors, leaving only the Dao door. The clouds hung low, and Ningzhu silently practiced his cultivation. Sometimes, 5-colored auras swirled around him, his breath oscillating. Sometimes his essence blood surged, and demonic chi thickened, and sometimes he looked solemn, his face glowing with Buddha's light. After experimenting with the 3 cultivation techniques, he gained a more intuitive and profound understanding of the subsequent 7th to 9th layers. These 3 techniques retain the greatest advantage they once had: fast cultivation speed. But if I were to cultivate strictly according to the original methods, the cultivation time would be at least 3 times longer than before. This was because the 7th to 9th layer techniques introduced a new advantage: richness. Whether it was divine sense, mana, or essence blood, they were much thicker than those cultivated from typical techniques. Although the speed advantage was retained, the standard total amount had tripled, so the cultivation time also increased 3-fold. What made Ningzhu frown even more was another point. From the 7th layer onwards, these 3 techniques start responding to each other. Minor stages aside, the major stages must progress uniformly, which is really troublesome. In other words, the 3 techniques must simultaneously reach the 7th, 8th, and 9th layers. But one could be in the early 7th layer, another in the mid-7th layer, and the third in the peak of the 7th layer. Previously, Ningzhu had divine sea cultivation up to the 6th layer, while the other 2 techniques were at the 5th layer. This situation was absolutely unacceptable for the subsequent 7th to 9th layer techniques. According to the cultivation techniques, if this happened, it would greatly impact the success probability of the foundation establishment. Ningzhu understood the reason. Because this involves the integration of the 3 elixir fields. It had been mentioned before that after the Qi refinement realm comes the foundation establishment stage. The Qi refinement realm has 3 main training paths, namely the upper Danshan Divine Sea, the middle Danshan Qi Sea, and the lower Danshan essence C. For most techniques, they specialize in one Danshan, so there were no such concerns. But for excellent or top-tier techniques, they specialized in more than one Danshan, often involving two Danshan. Whichever two Danshan they involved, they all required unification. For example, unity of spirit and breath, unity of spirit or harmony of essence and breath. In the case of the three ancestral masters, what he needed to achieve was even more, unification of the three treasures, essence, breath, and spirit. This unification was not about merging the three Danshan into one, but about making their breath unified, as if one, truly opening the path to the foundation establishment stage. Without this unification, Ningzhu's cultivation of these three techniques would be like randomly cultivating three entirely incompatible techniques. When it came to impacting the foundation establishment stage, failure would be inevitable. All three Danshan had cultivation, and just a slight disharmony, failing to prioritize, would lead to severe conflict, resulting in a failed attempt at foundation establishment and damage from the three Danshan clashing against each other. In the worst cases, it could affect the foundational practice, turning a genius into a wastrel or even threaten life. This was the main reason why cultivating the three Danshan together remained exceptionally rare in today's highly advanced cultivation world. Ningzhu summarized, the three cultivation techniques maintained their speed advantage in the late Qi refinement realm. However, the time was extended threefold, and the three techniques must advance in unison. He immediately thought of the difficulties therein. This way, my divine sea cultivation cannot advance too quickly. I must also consider the progress of the other two Danshan. Fortunately, minor stages do not need to be consistent. I can still use iced jade wine to elevate my Qi sea cultivation. But what about the cultivation of the essence sea? Ningzhu's cultivation in the essence sea had always been the slowest. It wasn't that he had no talent in this area, nor was it really slow, but compared to the exceptionally fast progress of the divine sea and the elevated Qi sea, the essence sea had always been the last. Previously, this was not an issue. But now, according to the later stages of the three techniques, this was the biggest shortcoming in Ningzhu's cultivation. I've obtained the subsequent techniques, but new problems have emerged simultaneously. Ningzhu only skimmed through the content of the later stages of the mirror stand spirit communication technique, and he could feel his divine sea cultivation surging with the tendency to break through to the seventh layer, frightening him into quickly dispelling all related thoughts from his divine sea. His Qi sea cultivation had reached the peak of the sixth layer as well. Only his essence sea cultivation lagged behind. I must fully improve my essence sea cultivation. Most of the research on the essence sea was primarily in the realm of demon sect techniques. Ningzhu had very little exposure in this area. His knowledge mainly came from the Ning family's public library, and his proficiency in mechanical techniques largely originated from the relics left by his mother. Although he had been gathering intelligence in the black market for years and paid attention to collecting classical texts, the quality of cultivation techniques and spells in this tier of the market was generally low. After all, Fire Persimmon Immortal City was a new city. Unless he got lucky or attended some auctions, it was challenging to acquire high-quality techniques. Officially suppressed and banned, demon sect techniques were also hard to procure from conventional markets. Until he was 16, Ningzhu firmly believed in the development path of the righteous path, having little desire for demonic arts. He never expected that the Magma Fairy Palace's techniques required cultivating all three paths. This left his preparation and actual need for demonic arts highly misaligned. Fortunately, he had an elder brother from a major evil sect. Ningzhu sought Sun Lingtong's advice on this matter. Sun Lingtong directly provided an answer. This is very simple. Increasing essence blood cultivation is actually the easiest. But little Zhu, you certainly won't be able to do it. Elder brother, go ahead and tell me, Ningzhu persisted. Sun Lingtong's answer made Ningzhu's face change slightly, and he immediately shook his head. Impossible, impossible. Sun Lingtong's method was straightforward, relying on kin with the same bloodline. Grim demon cultivators slaughtered their kin for personal gain, achieving rapid advancement in cultivation. The key was that, as long as demon cultivators focused on refining and purifying, this method truly had no side effects. Ningzhu was unwilling to give up. Elder son, is there any other way? Sun Lingtong did offer several methods, but all had exceedingly high thresholds or were too slow to solve immediate concerns. What to do now? Ningxiu had no choice but to focus on cultivating his essence C while keeping an eye out for relevant intelligence, hoping for some fortuitous opportunity. Sun Lingtong consoled him. You aren't really at a bottleneck, you're still progressing steadily. This is a normal cultivation speed, but you aren't satisfied. Ningxiu sighed and shared his worries with Sun Lingtong. Fire Persimmon Immortal City was becoming increasingly crowded, as external cultivators were attracted by the recruitment decree, coming here to explore the Immortal Palace. Ningxiu felt his pressure growing by the day. He had to give his all, racing against time, to maximize his chances of seizing the Immortal Palace. He would not forgive himself for even a moment of slack. Little Zhu is stretching himself too thin, Sun Lingtong sighed internally, but didn't try to advise him, because he understood very well the significance of the Magma Fairy Palace in Ningxiu's life. He also knew that any persuasion was meaningless. Offering all his support to Ningxiu was the most meaningful help he could provide. This was why Sun Lingtong stayed in Fire Persimmon Immortal City despite being wanted. He always hid in the underground base, moving every so often. Given his personality, this kind of life was more torturous than prison. But Sun Lingtong endured, wanting to stay close to Ningxiu and find ways to help his little brother. Little did he know, his situation was even more dangerous than Ningxiu's. He had already been targeted by Luo Shang of the Soul-Devouring Sect and Yang Chanyu of the Bukong Sect, both Golden Core True Transmission cultivators. When he rotated back to the previous underground base, he'd walk right into their trap. Ningxiu's small courtyard. Good, this mechanical explosive flame monkey is of excellent quality. I'll buy it. Ningxiu paid for a mechanical monkey. Recently, he had been making this purchase action more frequently. Did you improve and create this jet spray mechanism according to the Magma Fairy Palace's mechanism diagram? After receiving an affirmative answer, Ningxiu also bought the spray mechanism to encourage them. Since Ning Xiaohui withdrew from the renovation team, the remaining mainline family members were scarce, and without a central figure, there was nothing to be concerned about. Ningxiu had complete control over the Ning family's renovation team. Ningxiu proactively arranged for the renovation team members to go to various mechanical workshops to accumulate mechanical technique proficiency. After some time, the visible results were outstanding. This made Ningxiu suspect whether the Ning family was originally a family specializing in mechanical techniques, and whether their main focus on ice and snow techniques had deviated from their path. A former deacon of the Foundation establishment stage clarified things for him. This former deacon had participated in selecting personnel for the higher-ups before. Ningxiu then understood that the renovation team's personnel had not been randomly chosen, but meticulously selected by the Ning family's high-ranking members from a vast base, tailored for mechanical techniques. The more people a family has, the more talent there will be for different cultivation techniques. From the family's perspective, more people are definitely better, immensely beneficial. The Ning family's carefully selected personnel now fell into Ningxiu's hands and were at his disposal. The black market previously run by Sun Lingtong was also under Ningxiu's control, with profits skyrocketing. Everything has its pros and cons. While many outsiders brought immense competitive pressure by flooding into the Immortal City, they also brought more trades and income. Ningxiu's funds rapidly increased, accumulating at an unprecedented rate, even though he constantly spent money. When donating to the Siu Garden, he contributed a more abundant amount of spirit stones than he'd initially planned. The salary for Ning family's foundation establishment subordinates occupied a lesser portion of the total revenue. Ningxiu even invested heavily in covert intelligence collection. Much intelligence on accelerating cultivation with demonic arts was collected, but most were unreliable. With his decade-long intelligence sensitivity, Ningxiu could often estimate the rumor content of information at a glance. Though he gathered a lot of intelligence and leads, most were merely unfounded rumors of little value. The vast majority of solutions were the ones Sun Lingtong mentioned, targeting one's kin. Since it involves demon sect techniques and the Magma Fairy Palace, I can't go through official channels or seek help from the three families. For now, the situation is manageable, But if my essence C cultivation ascends to the 7th layer and the time triples, I won't be able to endure it. After days of intense contemplation, Ningzhu suddenly had a wonderful idea and achieved a delightful breakthrough. Wait, I can have a mechanical puppet cultivate in my stead. These past few days, Ningzhu had been conceptualizing a brand new mechanical body for Yuan Dasheng. The tree martial fighting ape he previously designed and refined had been completely destroyed in the battle against Chi Bai. The golden blood battle ape was more suited to operations within the magma fairy palace. When used outside, it simply was not up to par, especially when confronting golden core cultivators. The material specifications fell short by far. Of course, the magma fairy palace provided many opportunities. The golden blood battle ape would receive upgrades in the future. After the second Buddhist sex checkpoint, the next 3 checkpoints provided higher-grade materials specifically for processing the golden blood battle ape. During the previous joint operation of the 3 families, the golden-blooded war ape Dasheng had displayed extraordinary power based on material upgrades. In terms of potential, it's clear that the golden blood battle ape has much more. Ningzhu had yet to fully understand the design of the golden blood battle ape. He had not even fully grasped the materials used in its structure. The golden blood battle ape originated from the golden furnace. Even the mighty 3 ancestral masters at the cultivating the void stage had only set up 8 within the magma fairy palace. Of course, Ningzhu knew nothing of the golden furnace. After his contact and attempts at analysis, he confirmed that the golden blood battle ape made by the magma fairy palace was indeed extraordinary. Even if I never figured out its construction, as long as I continued to replace its materials, I could still rapidly enhance the combat power of the golden-blooded war ape Dasheng. The tree martial fighting ape Dasheng was strong because of its materials. Due to Zheng Jian, the material grade was far higher than that of the golden blood battle ape. However, the design concept lacked uniqueness, and the meticulous planning was also nothing special. There was another problem. The mechanical diagrams of the tree martial fighting ape had already been leaked. Zheng Jian knew this very well. Of course, the blueprint itself was of low value, which was why Ningzhu had shared it with Zheng Jian in the first place to strengthen their relationship. Ningzhu wanted to replicate the success of the tree martial fighting ape. He wanted to refine a mechanical monkey with golden core level combat power to ensure his own safety. Especially given the current situation, a large number of unfamiliar cultivators had flooded into Fire Persimmon Immortal City, and Ningzhu had become the black market's controller, essentially placing him in the spotlight. Thus, he urgently needed golden core level strength. Chi Bai technically possessed golden core strength. His golden core was hidden within the underworld envoy puppet, providing its power and more. The materials of the underworld envoy puppet, Chi Bai, also needed upgrading. Forcing it to exert golden core level power meant the puppet's materials would likely collapse under the strain. Since Chi Bai's spiritual nature was not yet fully developed, and even if it were, it would have to find a way to survive the spirit movement phase. Thus, it was not Ningzhu's first choice. Ningzai, who in life possessed the talent of snow soul frost spirit, had been refined into the weather balloon ice crystal snow. Its materials were quite good and could be upgraded. Though its spiritual nature was low, Ningzai was a member of the Ning family, and his relics could be collected to replenish his spiritual energy, offering hope of achieving a complete transformation and advancing to the spirit movement phase. However, Ningzai had only reached the foundation establishment stage in life. The mechanical structure of the weather balloon ice crystal snow was vastly different from his former self. While it was not impossible for him to exhibit golden core strength through the quality of his materials, it was not very probable. After much deliberation, Ningzhu determined that Yuan Dasheng was his best option. Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature required no replenishment, and he had already surpassed the spirit movement phase. In life, he had quasi-golden core level combat power. His close combat fighting style better allowed him to leverage the advantages provided by high-quality materials. The most crucial point, his righteous golden firmness constituted his immortal aptitude. In life, Yuan Dasheng mastered the demon-infused bloodline technique at a high level. As a mechanical being, he could still employ the demon-infused bloodline technique, just like Chi Bai could still use the 9 revolutions soul-devouring secret. Using the demon-infused bloodline technique required essence blood. Therefore, Ningxiu planned to carefully refine the blood conversion pool and blood oil bottle components. And at this point, Ningxiu suddenly thought of himself, sparking inspiration. Ningxiu once again secretly contacted Sun Lingtong. Ningxiu said, "The blood conversion pool consumes the bodies of other beings, transforming them into essence blood, eventually becoming Yuan Dasheng's source power. If Yuan Dasheng could use other people's flesh and blood to refine essence blood for his use, then why couldn't he use my flesh and blood? He already mastered the demon-infused bloodline technique, and if he refined essence blood from my flesh and blood, wouldn't that essence blood be mine? When the time comes, if I let him infuse the essence blood back into me, wouldn't that be a shortcut in cultivation?" Sun Lingtong nodded. "Little Zhuo, this idea is feasible, but are you sure you want to do this? You'll have to keep cutting your flesh and bleeding." Ningxiu showed a determined expression. "As long as I can cultivate faster, what's a little pain and suffering? Elder son, do you remember? When I was a child, you used to train me to endure pain by constantly hitting me with iron rods and steel whips. Thanks to your special training, I've never been afraid of pain since then. Nowadays, cutting my flesh and bleeding is just like revisiting that childhood training." Upon hearing this, Sun Lingtong's heart trembled slightly. He laughed heartily and patted Ningxiu on the shoulder. "Good kid, I didn't waste my efforts in cultivating you back then." Sun Lingtong was genuinely gratified. As a person of the evil sect, he enjoyed taking risks and greatly admired the strong. Ningxiu's display of strength and determination left a deep impression on him. This is how a real man should be, daring to fight and strive, ruthless to others yet more so to himself. "If you need my help with anything, just say the word," Ningxiu said. "Elder, I'll give you the mechanical diagrams. Please help me refine a mechanical monkey equipped with the blood conversion pool and blood oil bottle. My schedule is too tight, and I am under great scrutiny, so it's inconvenient for me." "No problem," Sun Lingtong pledged confidently, patting his chest. Thanks to Ningxiu, who had shared the organ technique classics his mother left him with Sun Lingtong long ago. Although Sun Lingtong had little natural talent for mechanism artifacts, he overcame that with more than a decade of diligent practice and meticulous research, amassing substantial skill in organ technique. In just 2 days, Sun Lingtong had refined the mechanical monkey. Ningxiu discreetly took it and used it for himself. In the depths of the floating clouds, he extracted Yuan Dasheng's spiritual essence and infused it into the mechanical monkey. Then Ningxiu took out a sharp dagger, first drawing his own blood, then cutting flesh from his own arm, thigh, and abdomen. Waves of pain constantly assaulted his mind and body, yet Ningxiu remained silent, merely furrowing his brows as his face grew somewhat pale. Yuan Dasheng did not disappoint, using his 9th-level demon-infused bloodline technique to refine the flesh and blood, producing essence blood. Ningxiu received the essence blood infusion, rapidly enhancing his cultivation level in the essence sea. 3 days later, Ningxiu went to the underground base to see Sun Lingtong and shared the good news with him. Sun Lingtong was shocked. "Little Zhuo, I knew your previous essence sea cultivation level. How did you so quickly reach the 6th-level pinnacle? Though you provided Yuan Dasheng with flesh and blood, you also had to heal your injuries. That takes time too." Ningxiu smiled. "Elder, after cutting myself a few times, I suddenly came up with a better method. I realized that constantly cutting myself for flesh not only required me to heal, but also slowed my cultivation speed significantly. Why not ask my family members for help?" Sun Lingtong. Ningxiu then explained how he did it. Many of the Ning family members had cultivation levels, most of them in the Qi refinement realm. Living in the Immortal city and making a living was tough. They could only do menial labor for low wages. Jobs included weeding, blacksmithing, tending fires, and preliminary herbal processing. Thus, most of the Ning family members preferred to rely on the family and work in family businesses. But the scale of the family businesses was limited, and so were the job positions. With their limited cultivation, most Ning family members could only engage in menial labor. Ningxiu knew this and ordered his foundation establishment cultivators to screen out some of the poorer family members, arranging for them to donate essence blood. In return, Ningxiu would give each person a sum of spirit stones after each session of blood and flesh extraction. Ningxiu said, "I've done the math on this. Although they would be injured, they would receive a sum of spirit stones. By using these spirit stones to buy the cheapest medicinal potions, they would still have a good deal left over. They are profiting. So upon implementing this, it was very well received. Many family members who weren't chosen voluntarily signed up. With the help of this flesh and blood, Yuan Dasheng cultivated the 9th-level blood power of the demon-infused bloodline technique. When this blood power was channeled back into Ningzhu, it would be purified by him, retaining what suited his constitution, and the remainder would be returned to Yuan Dasheng as his backup source of power. With this method, my cultivation difficulties in the Essence Sea are resolved. Ha ha ha! Ningzhu was delighted. Sun Lingtong was the person he trusted most. Whenever he had breakthroughs and developments, he immediately shared them with Sun Lingtong. But Sun Lingtong's next words seemed somewhat unappreciative. He pondered for a moment, then suddenly said, "Isn't your method still just exploiting your kin, treating them as cultivation materials? Fundamentally, it's not much different from those demonic practices." Ningzhu. Cough, cough, cough. He coughed violently a few times. "Elder, you can't put it that way. I'm helping my family, giving them work. Their income has increased because of me. You didn't see the genuine smiles on their faces when they received the spirit stones. Seeing their smiles warms my heart too." Ningzhu stressed. "I'm helping them make a living and improving their quality of life. And with their help, I can cultivate faster and achieve greater results. This is mutually beneficial, a win-win situation, a successful model of cooperation on the righteous path." After a pause, he added, "I am fundamentally different from those demonic practices. They are ruthless and cold-blooded, harming their own kin for personal gain. Such people are terrifying. But my family members are all willing. Our cooperation does not harm their lives at all. Although it injures them, these wounds can heal with some medicine after a while. Once healed, they can collaborate with me even more." Sun Lingtong clapped his hands. "I get it. Those demonic cultivators consider slaughtering their kin a one-time deal, but you, my little brother, intend to harvest flesh and blood continuously." Cough, cough, cough. Ningzhu started coughing violently again. "Elder, I am having difficulty talking to you. I am righteous." Righteous. Sun Lingtong shrugged. "All right, say whatever you want." Ningzhu sighed, sincerely and earnestly saying, "Elder, you can't think like that. Even though you come from a major evil sect, you need to open your eyes and mind. Don't view everything so darkly. You've known me for over 10 years. Do you think I'm that kind of person?" Sun Lingtong. Sun Lingtong's silence made Ningzhu feel a bit embarrassed. He quickly changed the topic. "All right, enough of that. Let me talk about something serious. Boss, I plan to go all out and create a mechanical monkey. A golden core-level mechanical monkey." Even though Sun Lingtong had always supported Ningzhu wholeheartedly, upon hearing this news, he felt that Ningzhu was being rather fanciful. If it were a foundation establishment cultivator making a golden core-level item, the difference is only 1 level, so there might be a slim chance of success. But currently, Ningzhu was only at the qi refinement stage, and outwardly, he could only display the cultivation of the 3rd layer of qi refinement. To leap a level and create a golden core-level mechanism artifact. "What will you use to create it?" Sun Lingtong asked directly. Ningzhu chuckled. "Although my cultivation level is a bit low, there are people who can create it." Sun Lingtong asked again, "Can you get a golden core cultivator to help you?" Ningzhu shrugged. "Getting a foundation establishment cultivator to forcefully create a golden core-level mechanism is also possible. I plan to ask the Zheng family for artifact refining, the Ning family for talisman making, and the Zhou family for array setup." Sun Lingtong thought for a moment and started to understand. "You know, you might actually pull this off." He stared at Ningzhu with wide eyes. "Considering your current reputation and network, you could indeed succeed. But if you ask others for help, wouldn't your mechanical diagram get leaked again?" Ningzhu nodded. "I've thought about that too. I'll have them each refine different mechanism parts and components. I'll personally refine the key parts, keeping them strictly confidential. Finally, I will assemble them into a complete golden core-level mechanism artifact myself." Sun Lingtong's eyes lit up as he realized. Indeed, it's a mechanism, not a magic artifact or weapon. It's not a whole object, it can be separated. "This is indeed feasible," Ningzhu continued. "Besides, the mechanical monkey I envision this time doesn't involve any intricate designs. I'll use some classic structures. The focus is on piling up materials. I will use almost all the golden core-level materials I have on hand to create this mechanical monkey." Ning Zhu truly had a lot of golden core-level materials on hand now. Part of it was accumulated by Sun Lingtong in the black market over the years. Another part was contributed from Qi Bai's storage bag, and a third part came from extorting the Ning family clan leader not long ago. If he still lacked some materials, Ning Zhu could trade with the Zhou family, Zheng family, or even secretly with Fei Si. Now, he was no longer the marginal figure he used to be. Becoming the black market master and participating in the joint actions of the three families allowed him to leverage multiple resources for his use. Sun Lingtong said, "After managing the black market for so many years, I've accumulated quite a few good materials. I'll take them out for you to refine the treasure." "But how will you get others to refine them? Have you thought about that?" Ning Zhu replied. "I've thought about it." He pulled out a map, spread it out, and pointed out a certain location to Sun Lingtong. "I plan to set up a trap here, destroy the warehouse, and find a large batch of treasures in the underground secret chamber. Publicly, I'll claim that we found your old treasure trove. What do you think?" Sun Lingtong asked some detailed questions, then pondered for a while. "These clues and testimonies are flawlessly arranged. However, you need to use up these treasures quickly after acquiring them, or you'll attract greed and covetousness over time." "I understand, boss." Ning Zhu nodded heavily. Sun Lingtong suddenly laughed. Ning Zhu looked up, puzzled. "Boss, what's the matter?" Sun Lingtong stroked his chin. "I used to look down on righteous path cultivators, thinking most of them were hypocritical. But looking at you now, I suddenly feel that mixing with the righteous path isn't so bad at times." Ning Zhu laughed heartily. "The righteous path is not for mixing. I believe it represents a positive attitude towards life. Look at those on the demon path, always fighting and killing, risking their lives. It's too dangerous, isn't it? I prefer mutual understanding and coexistence among people. Even if there are conflicts, we can tolerate and bear with each other, coexist peacefully, and enjoy the beauty of cultivation." Ning Zhu spoke earnestly. At this moment, Sun Lingtong realized Ning Zhu's naivety, recognizing that he was just a 16-year-old boy. "So, have you found it?" Sun Lingtong asked. Ning Zhu, Sun Lingtong. "After obtaining the Magma Fairy Palace, have you thought about what your situation will be? By then, will you have found a way to coexist peacefully with other people and forces?" Ning Zhu fell into silence. Sun Lingtong's expression turned serious. "Little Zhu, I understand you. With your nature, you always think ahead about many things. So, what have you come up with?" Ning Zhu smiled bitterly. "I'm trying." Sun Lingtong interrupted. "So, you're using the life-hanging thread, striving to build your influence, intending to rely on the family's power to force the forces in the Immortal City to accept you as the master of the Immortal Palace." "Ha ha," Sun Lingtong sneered. "You're too naive. Even I know that it's simply impossible. Regardless of the Ning family, the Zhou family, or the Zheng family, none of them have reliable connections in the court of Southern Bean Country. Magma Fairy Palace is such a significant treasure, crucial for suppressing Fire Persimmon Mountain and the foundation of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Southern Bean Country will never let you control the Immortal Palace. As the recruitment decree says, they will force you to give up the City Lord position, demand you hand over the Immortal Palace, and won't stop until you comply. Don't harbor unrealistic fantasies. Little Zhu, now that you've embarked on this path, there's no turning back. You have to be decisive and ruthless, or you'll harm others and yourself. In the future, if you obtain the Immortal Palace, leave this place immediately using its power. I know what you're worried about. The city protecting Great Array of Fire Persimmon Immortal City is effective. It can continue to suppress the volcano. Southern Bean Country will surely act decisively. After all, Fire Persimmon Immortal City has many foundations and countless citizens." Sun Lingtong's words plunged Ning Zhu into deep silence. Sun Lingtong saw through Ning Zhu's thoughts and plans and gave the correct advice. The next day, at Ning Zhu's residence, in the underground cultivation secret room, Ning Zhu, shrouded in a floating cloud, solemnly took out the jade match talisman. The jade match talisman was a rectangular strip of paper, jade-like in color, with red edges around its border. In the center of the yellow paper was a long series of intricate talismans. The talismans intertwined like dragons and serpents, running from top to bottom, with 3 silver rings representing the upper Danshan Divine C, middle Danshan Qi C, and lower Danshan Essence C. A straight line of golden light connected the rings, resembling a sword or bridge, penetrating through the 3 rings. Ningxiu calmed his mind and, holding the talisman between his fingers, placed it in front of him. He channeled his mana into the talisman. The talisman gradually began to glow, then spontaneously combusted, quickly turning to ashes. Amid the smoke, the talisman's light swiftly entered Ningxiu's chest qi. Using the same method, Ningxiu used 2 more talismans, directing their light to his brow divine C and abdomen essence C. After the 3 talismans were applied, they immediately resonated with each other. Ningxiu's essence, qi, and spirit each emitted an inexplicable aura, flowing gently, intertwining, gradually merging into one, and finally permeating into the other 2 dantians. This state continued for the time it takes to brew a cup of tea before gradually subsiding. The jade match talisman. Its effect is remarkable. This type of talisman was specifically used to harmonize the 3 dantians. Cultivators in the latter stage of qi refinement must go through this step before breaking through to the foundation establishment stage. Doing so increased the success rate of the breakthrough. But since I'm cultivating 3 different techniques, I must use the jade match talismans before reaching the 7th layer. Cultivators focusing on one dantian only need 1 talisman. I need 3 at once. But honestly, it's really effective. Ningxiu carefully sensed, realizing that his essence, qi, and spirit now resonated with each other, noticeably different from before. Previously, it was like 3 individuals breathing out of sync, separate entities. Now the 3 energies were harmoniously integrated, moving in unison as a single entity. To be safe, Ningxiu used 3 more talismans, optimally aligning his essence, qi, and spirit. Now is the time. Ningxiu's face showed determination. He simultaneously activated the 3 techniques. Divine C, Mirror Stand Spirit Communication Technique. Qi C, 5 Elements Qi Regulation Art. Essence C, Demon-Infused Bloodline Technique. Activating all 3 techniques, his cultivation, originally at the peak of the 6th layer, smoothly ascended to the 7th layer. 3 Cs reaching the same 7th level. Ningxiu officially entered the latter stage of qi refinement. Moreover, with the 3 techniques, his overall power now far surpassed other cultivators of the same level. The dragon turtle fire spirit had been observing Ningxiu. Seeing this, the palace spirit's expression became extremely serious. This little monster, possessing exceptional talent, profound mechanical skills, and creative genius, he held the significant treasure of the Immortal Palace, Buddha Heart Demon Seal. In the middle stage of qi refinement, he had already mastered a complete divine skill, Life Hanging Thread. Now, he had advanced to the late stage of qi refinement. Fast, so fast. The dragon turtle fire spirit was filled with admiration, amazement, and faint traces of fear. It glanced at Meng Chong. Meng Chong was also cultivating frantically in the secret chamber. His body was surrounded by electricity, clearly using the immortal talent Mad Dash Thunder to speed up the refinement of his mana. "I've broken through," he exclaimed, opening his eyes. "Haha, I'm at the 4th layer of qi refinement now." He stepped out of the secret chamber, immediately receiving numerous compliments. Everyone praised Meng Chong. The dragon turtle fire spirit was so anxious it ground its teeth and clawed at the ground, desperately wanting to shout in their ears, "You fools! Someone has already reached the 7th layer, the 7th layer. Yet you think you're in the lead." The dragon turtle fire spirit's frustration mixed with growing despair. It was bound, not free. It couldn't reveal any information about the trial disciples. Its authority was too limited. As the only spirit aware of the entire situation, it watched as Ningxiu closed in on it step by step, and it began to feel fear. "Don't come closer, don't come closer. Someone, realize it, quickly discover the one who hides the deepest." Underground secret base. A gigantic blood conversion pool, suspended like a coffin, hung from the ceiling beam of the room. A thick metal pipe extended from the blood conversion pool. The pipe connected to a massive blood oil bottle filled with murky essence blood, blackish red in color. From the bottom of the blood oil bottle, 5 or 6 more pipes extended. These pipes eventually connected to the back of a mechanical monkey. Inside the mechanical monkey, Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature exerted the 9th layer of the demon-infused bloodline technique with full force. The essence blood was infused from the blood oil bottle into Yuan Dasheng's mechanical body continuously. Then, under the operation of the demon-infused bloodline technique, it transformed into demon-infused essence blood. Ningxiu sat cross-legged opposite Yuan Dasheng. Between him and Yuan Dasheng, as well as around them, was a simple and somewhat haphazard array. The array emitted a faint red glow and a slight scent of blood. The 9th layer of demon-infused essence blood that Yuan Dasheng cultivated was purified through this array and finally entered Ningxiu's body. Ningxiu then used the 7th layer of the demon-infused bloodline technique to continue the transformation, removing incompatible essence blood and constantly accumulating cultivation in his essence C. Often, out of 10 portions of demon-infused essence blood, only 2 or 3 would be usable for Ningxiu. But by doing this, Ningxiu didn't need to cultivate on his own, saving him a lot of time. And as long as the scale was large enough, theoretically, the speed of his essence C cultivation would be very exaggerated. It's good to have clan members. How can I expand the number of clan members so I can obtain more blood and flesh? Ningxiu was always pondering this question. After tasting great success, it became hard for him to extricate himself. But he didn't lose his rationality. He was very clear. His large-scale public acquisition of clan members' blood and flesh was already in a very gray area. Just a small step forward, and he would be suspected of practicing demonic cultivation. He had been too high-profile recently, going against his principle of keeping a low profile. Now, many people were watching him, waiting for him to make a mistake. Previously, his large-scale procurement of clan members' blood and flesh was like pulling chestnuts out of the fire, extremely risky. Although he did it under the guise of puppet research, to inform the public. Ning Haojun and Ning Yufu, 2 former elders of side branches, upon hearing of Ningxiu's actions, had successively sent people or letters to remind Ningxiu to be extremely mindful of his reputation. The scale could not be expanded further. If it were expanded further, it would be very easy to be falsely accused and have his reputation tarnished. And reputation was extremely important for a righteous cultivator. Crack. Suddenly there was a muffled sound from the mechanical monkey's left arm, and then it broke off entirely. Then, as if triggering a chain reaction, fragments of mechanisms burst out from the shoulders, chest, and abdomen of the mechanical monkey. A large amount of essence blood spurted out. In the rushing blood flow, the mechanical monkey couldn't bear the load and shattered into pieces. Ningxiu frowned. He wasn't surprised or distressed, as the mechanical monkey was typically crudely made. This was already the 132nd one. The shattered fragments had already formed a small hill. Ningxiu looked up at the ceiling beams. The 2 mechanism artifacts, the giant blood conversion pool and the blood oil bottle, hanging there, also showed fine lines and signs of disintegration. It's time to properly craft a mechanical monkey, Ningxiu thought to himself. Previously, he and Sun Lingtong had cowled crude work, mainly to break through the 7th layer quickly. After reaching the 7th layer, Ningxiu's cultivation of essence, energy, and spirit broke through a bottleneck and could continue to rise. Now that Ningxiu had reached the 7th layer, he needed to focus on the future. On one hand, he needed a golden core-level mechanical monkey to fully utilize Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature. On the other hand, he needed a mechanical monkey capable of producing higher-quality essence blood. The combination of both made Ningxiu determined to immediately start crafting a new mechanical body for Yuan Dasheng. He took the initiative to invite Zheng Jian to co-craft the mechanical monkey. Zheng Jian was delighted. The last time he collaborated with Ningxiu, he learned a lot about mechanism knowledge and was quite impressed with Ningxiu's expertise. "What ingenious ideas do you have this time, Brother Ning?" Zheng Jian inquired of Ningxiu. But Ningxiu shook his head. "You might be disappointed, Brother Zheng. This time, my mechanism crafting is different from last time." After explaining, Zheng Jian indeed showed a disappointed expression. It turned out that Ningxiu didn't intend to disclose the mechanism design. He only needed high-quality materials refined with the aid of the Zheng family and Zheng Jian's skills. Zheng Jian hesitated for a moment, but ultimately nodded, believing his friendship with Ningxiu warranted helping to refine materials. Ningxiu took out red sun copper. Zheng Jian was astonished. "This type of golden core-level copper needs extremely high fire to melt. No wonder you came to me, Brother Ning." "But I'm only in the qi refinement realm. Brother Ning might be overestimating me." Ningzhu suggested enlisting other cultivators from the Zheng family for the task. Only then did Zheng Jian nod. As long as you can pay the price, given our friendship, I can surely invite experts from the clan. The price is negotiable. Ningzhu seemed straightforward. The Zheng family experts invited by Zheng Jian quoted a high price. Ningzhu laughed and haggled. What if I need more than just red sun copper refined? He took out a second material. The Zheng family experts frowned at it. This Wanji Xuan iron requires tedious hammering, at least 10,000 strikes. Although it's golden core level material, it demands too much labor. I don't have much time for private work. My clan duties are already numerous. Ningzhu produced a third material. This time, the Zheng family expert shook his head and indicated it was impossible. Unless it's golden core stage, directly refining it. I'm just at the foundation establishment stage. I'd need to use the top-tier refining room to have a chance at melting it. But currently, the top-tier refining room is occupied. Ningzhu inquired about how long it would be occupied. That's uncertain. I advise you not to expect much. The Zheng family expert was candid. After leaving the Zheng family, Ningzhu soon contacted Zhou Zeshan. Zhou Zeshan praised, "Brother Ning, you're indeed bold, aiming at golden core level mechanism artifacts while still in the Qi refinement realm. Impressive, impressive. I'm willing to fully assist." However, when Ningzhu explained the requirements, Zhou Zeshan appeared quite troubled. "Brother Ning, you want these golden core level materials to be arrayed. Such a massive and dense layout, I can't manage that. Our foundation establishment cultivators can barely handle it, but it requires a lot of manpower, working together. Otherwise, the project duration will be very long." Running the numbers, Zhou family's high remuneration per person and the increase in numbers made the expense burdensome for Ningzhu. Conversely, Ningzhu received positive feedback assigning talisman-making tasks to his ex-stewards. These Ning family elite foundation establishment cultivators all expressed they could refine various martial arts talismans for Ningzhu without charge. But Ningzhu couldn't agree. Sparing spirit stones was not crucial. Ningzhu did not want to undermine his own rules and the atmosphere he had painstakingly built within his team. Paying his subordinates was far more valuable than paying the Zheng family and Zhou family. After calculating, Ningzhu found that even paying spirit stones, he barely covered a third of the project volume. This isn't the Zheng family or Zhou family intentionally inflating prices. Their prices are actually quite fair in the market. Materials reaching the golden core level made Ningzhu's financial reserves suddenly seem much thinner. The idea of jointly refining mechanisms with various forces was good, but implementing it faced many challenges. Reflecting on his situation, Ningzhu came up with a solution. It's time to reveal some information about Meng Chong. Through the Turtle Breath Gang, Ningzhu clandestinely leaked news to the three great families about Meng Chong successfully breaking through and obtaining 3 to 6 layers of cultivation techniques. Zhou Zeshan exclaimed, "Meng Chong is indeed impressive. The city lord's mansion is far ahead." Zheng Jian clenched his fists. "I must obtain the follow-up techniques." Being stuck at the third layer is unbearable. The Ning family clan leader and several elders discussed. The 5 elements Qi regulation art left by the 3 ancestral masters has great potential. Its follow-up techniques are a significant event for our clan. The elders debated. Who can take on this task? Ning Xiaohui has left the renovation team. After a brief discussion, the elders all thought of Ningzhu. The Ning family needed to acquire the follow-up techniques, and it seemed indeed should depend on Ningzhu. With reluctance, the elders continued. Though personally very repulsed, I have to admit, Ningzhu is capable. The key is, even if Ningzhu obtains the follow-up techniques, will he surrender them to the clan? With this concern, the elders fell silent, looking at each other. After a long silence, someone broke it, looking at the Ning family clan leader. "Ningzhu loves money. Please, clan leader, communicate with him more." The Ning family clan leader nodded with a grim face, already feeling a headache just thinking about Ningzhu. There were 2 paths to exploring the Magma Fairy Palace. Entering the palace earned merit points to exchange for various cultivation resources. Soul entering the palace entailed many trials, but could acquire the follow-up techniques of the 5 elements Qi regulation art. And this reward was something that those who entered the palace physically couldn't obtain. The arrangement by the 3 ancestral masters was clear. Physical entry was for outsiders and guest elders, while soul entry was for cultivating their own, never revealing true transmission's secret manuals to outsiders. For the three families, who deeply studied the 5 elements chi regulation art, even at 3 layers, they recognized its excellence. Their desire for the follow-up techniques always existed, quietly growing. This desire was precisely what Ningzhu discovered and manipulated. Without needing Ningzhu to approach them, Zhou Zeshan and Zheng Jian proactively sought him out. How many trials were needed to obtain the technique reward was unknown to them. But they knew Ningzhu was strong, and at odds with the Ning family's main line. If they could invite Ningzhu to assist, it would benefit their exploration of the Immortal Palace. Strengthening ties with Ningzhu and supporting him would be advantageous in the likely second internal conflict within the Ning family. With such mutually beneficial interests, the Zhou family and Zheng family eagerly offered discounts to Ningzhu. The problems troubling Ningzhu were thus resolved. Ning family's main line learned of Ningzhu's cooperation with the Zhou and Zheng families and fumed with rage. Many wanted to act, portraying him as a colluder who disregarded the clan's interests, disastrously harming Ningzhu's reputation within the clan. But they were persuaded to hold back. The Ning family clan leader, holding his nose, summoned Ningzhu once again. Ningzhu gladly went. After returning, the sound of things being smashed was once again heard from the clan leader's study. A magic artifact styled as an inner armor was thrown into the furnace by Sun Lingtong. Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra. The artifact gradually melted away, turning into nothingness, but left behind a rich spiritual essence. The essence rapidly infused into the weather balloon ice crystal snow, bringing its spiritual nature to 10 full parts. 10 full parts of spiritual essence, completely self-sufficient. From now on, if the spiritual essence of the weather balloon ice crystal snow got damaged, it could self-recover. The spiritual nature of the weather balloon ice crystal snow originated from the ghost cultivator Ningzai. When first refined by Ningzhu, it had only 36% spiritual essence. However, enhancing spiritual essence was not particularly difficult. You just needed to find corresponding relics. Back then, when Ningzhu enhanced Yuan Dasheng's spiritual essence, it was done in one go as well. When Qi Bai made it, its spiritual essence was drastically consumed, once dropping below 10%. But after burning some personal belongings from his storage bag, its spiritual essence instantly surged to over 90%. Ever since acquiring the weather balloon ice crystal snow, Ningzhu had been relentlessly using his subordinates, the black market, and the branch clan's channels to locate Ningzai's belongings. Through these, he continually accumulated its spiritual essence, and after extorting the Ning family clan leader for the second time, he obtained some magic artifacts for family use. The inner armor artifact that was burned was Ningzai's primary protective gear when he was alive. After being burned, it immediately filled the last gap in its spiritual essence, reaching 10 full parts. What Ningzhu obtained from the Ning family clan leader was, of course, not limited to this. He got a promise from the clan leader. The Ning family would use its full resources to help Ningzhu measure his talent. Ningzhu had to show this strong demand. For a talented young cultivator with an unknown potential who couldn't advance further, it didn't make sense not to explore his own talent secrets. Thankfully, this matter was handed over to the main line of the Ning family. They would definitely not let me easily measure my talent. Concerning the main and branch line disputes, the Ning family clan leader's side would undoubtedly make things difficult and use underhanded tactics. Don't disappoint me, main line. Ningzhu secretly cheered for the main line. Ningzhu also secured a special permission from the clan leader. He was authorized to collaborate with the Zhou family and Zheng family to jointly explore the Magma Fairy Palace. This way, even if Ningzhu helped the Zhou family and Zheng family achieve good results, he wouldn't be blamed by his own clan members for betrayal. He was permitted to vigorously develop substitute puppets, which required him to intensify the collection of clan members' flesh and blood. The clan leader's endorsement erased many intangible obstacles for Ningzhu. Lastly, the clan leader extracted numerous golden core-level materials, such as red sun copper, from the clan's treasury. Ningzhu's undertaking to refine a golden core-level mechanism began grandly and magnificently. Dozens of Zheng family artifact refiners spent their days in the refining lab, continuously hammering Wanjikshuan iron. To melt the exotic golden core materials, Zheng Hua was summoned, using his talented stone to solve the problem. Zheng family, heaven-ranked refining lab. This was the highest-spec refining lab in the entire Zheng family, nay, the entire fire persimmon immortal city. The blazing earth flame was condensed into a small lamp flame. Magical treasure, heavenly craft lamp. This was the Zheng family's town treasure, capable of concentrating boundless firepower into a single point. Any refining technique used within the lamp's flame would have its power at least doubled. At this moment within the lamp's flame, a black snake was slithering. The black snake was extremely fierce. Its body was flat, composed of numerous iron bars. As it moved, the iron bars collided, emitting a series of crisp clinks. Zhuge Xuanji and other golden cores intently watched the lamp flame, observing the mechanical black snake within. Several golden cores each showcased their abilities, casting various spells for inspection. After a moment, Zhuge Xuanji, using his golden eyes, was the first to spot something unusual. Following him, 2 golden cores from the Zheng family and 2 from the Zhou family gradually noticed the anomaly. Zheng Xuangu said, "This mechanical weapon's final component is at its 7-inch mark. This position is pivotal, being one of the central points for the mechanical weapon's transformation. Without this part, we can only control the weapon's 3 basic forms. We need an extremely sturdy yet highly flexible material to compensate for this." Everyone discussed it among themselves. Zhou Nanjiang first proposed jade dark steel. Zheng Danlian suggested dragon scale green iron. Zheng Xuangu mentioned it could be purple mist jade gold, while Zhuge Xuanji thought moon glint cold iron would work. Finally, when the second golden core ancestor of the Zhou family mentioned night wind soft iron, everyone's eyes lit up, unanimously agreeing it was the most suitable material. Zheng Xuangu stroked his chin. "If we use night wind soft iron, the fire refining method must be pure. Previously using fire fiend power for refining won't work," Zheng Danlian added. "The key is the quenching process. Night wind soft iron contains vitality, and an extremely cold quenching method would be inappropriate. Using such a method would severely damage the intrinsic properties of the night wind soft iron." The Ning family golden pill ancestor pondered. "This is manageable. Within our family, there is a Qi refinement junior possessing ice jade hands. This talent allows for a thread of vitality under extreme cold conditions." "Brilliant," praised Zheng Xuangu immediately. "This way, we just need this junior to cooperate with us, and we won't have to modify our previous refining plan, saving a vast amount of time and effort." With the plan settled, the Ning family golden pill ancestor issued a command at once. Grandma Ning Ziohui was ecstatic upon hearing the news. She eagerly sought out Ning Ziohui, grabbing her shoulders upon meeting. "Opportunity, Ziohui, your opportunity has arrived." After explaining everything in detail, Ning Ziohui remained incredulous. Her grandma urged, "Ziohui, when you meet the golden pill ancestors, be extremely respectful. They are all big figures. Just a slight favor from their hands would benefit you for years." Ning Ziohui, initially very dejected, gradually shifted from a morose, disheartened state to one full of anticipation upon hearing the news. Following her grandma's advice, she went to pay respects to Zhuge Xuanji and the golden pill ancestors of the 3 families, behaving very obediently. The Ning family ancestor treated her kindly. Zhuge Xuanji gave her a slight nod, informing her of the current situation. Upon hearing about the need for night wind soft iron, Ning Ziohui recalled a recent rumor. The rumor stated that Ning Zhu had destroyed a hidden residence of a previous black market master and looted many precious items. Among them was said to be a large quantity of night wind soft iron. Ning Ziohui spoke up. "Honored ancestors, may I report something?" She relayed the information about the black market, Ning Zhu, and the night wind soft iron to the golden pill ancestors. The Ning family ancestor said, "Oh, Ning Zhu has golden core level treasure night wind soft iron, which suits our needs perfectly." He immediately issued an order for Ning Zhu to present the material. "What? You want me to offer all the night wind soft iron?" Ning Zhu furrowed his brows deeply upon hearing this. "I'm just delivering a message." Zheng Hua raised his hands, showing his innocence. This is an order from your Ning family's golden pill ancestor. Ning Zhuo, my young brother, from my perspective, you have no means to refuse. Alas, according to our previous discussions, this night wind soft iron was intended for crafting. Now that such a large gap in materials has appeared, will you still continue to build your mechanical monkey? Xianxia intentionally asked, provoking and goading Ning Zhuo. Oh, by the way, it was someone from your Ning family who informed the golden pill ancestors that you possessed night wind soft iron. She is Ning Xiaohui. Ning Zhuo, my young brother, in my opinion, you'd better give in to your family's main branch. Otherwise, such schemes, such hidden daggers will continue to find you in the future. Under Zheng Hua's expectant gaze, Ning Zhuo suddenly relaxed his furrowed brows, threw back his head, and laughed heartily 3 times. Good, very good. To serve my family's golden pill ancestor is a blessing I've cultivated over 8 lifetimes. Wonderful, wonderful. I must thank Ning Xiaohui. I'm very grateful to her. Without her, how could I have such a great opportunity? Watching Ning Zhuo laugh so freely and heartily, it was Zheng Hua's turn to frown. For a moment, he could not determine whether Ning Zhuo was gritting his teeth in deep hatred or if he genuinely saw the light. Zheng family. Heaven-class artifact refining room. Not bad. This Ning Zhuo isn't bad at all. Zhuge Xuanji put down the jade slip after examining it. The Zheng family's golden pill cultivator standing next to him picked up the jade slip and infused it with his divine sense. The divine sense reflected a list Ning Zhuo had willingly compiled, filled entirely with golden core-level materials. Ning Zhuo had learned that he had to offer up the night wind soft iron and was overjoyed, abandoning his work on the spot and compiling the list of materials in front of the messenger, Zheng Hua. He stated that serving the golden pill ancestor was an immense honor, and that having fortuitously acquired a high position, he was willing to offer all the golden core-level materials he had to the ancestor. This obedient attitude greatly disappointed Zheng Hua, who instantly became wary. In contrast, Zhuge Xuanji and others were very pleased. The divine hunter pointed to the jade slip, laughingly scolded. I am quite familiar with this Ning Zhuo. This young one is good at climbing the ranks and will surely become a prominent figure in the bureaucracy in the future. Ning Jiufan, your Ning family has produced a talent. Zhuge Xuanji, with his heart set on the Magma Fairy Palace, had a pressing need to assist the Zheng family in refining mechanical weapons. Ning Zhuo's full cooperation made him feel at ease, significantly reducing the disgust he felt from the situation involving Yuan Dasheng. Ning family's golden pill ancestor, Ning Jiufan, smiled faintly. Catching the eye of Lord Zhuge Xuanji is an honor for the younger generation of our family. Zhuge Xuanji shook his head. It's not just me. Fei Si also has a good opinion of Ning Zhuo. Zhou Nanjiang suddenly spoke. Ning Zhuo is quite a troublemaker. I heard that as a branch member, he even pulled down the main family's young clan leader. Her words hinted at provocation and ridicule towards the Ning family ancestor. However, Ning Jiufan seemed oblivious, merely mumbling. He, let the younger generation worry about their own matters. Zhuge Xuanji acknowledged with a hum, then pondered. Ning Zhuo's full support, his patriotic and loyal heart are commendable. Therefore, I will reward him with a mechanical artifact from the royal family's treasury, fitting for the night wind soft iron he contributed. As for the other materials, they all belong to him. Let him take them back. Our royal family has always been fair in its rewards and punishments, never coveting the people's wealth. The Zheng family's golden pill, Zheng Xuangu, laughed heartily. Ning Zhuo, this lad, was saved by me from Fire Persimmon Mountain. Now, he has offered the night wind soft iron to help our family refine mechanical weapons. Such a fateful exchange brings joy. Since the mechanical weapon belongs to our Zheng family, we must offer something in return. Come. Inspect the treasury and compile a suitable list. Send it to Ning Zhuo and let him choose any one item as a reward. Zhou Nanjiang also nodded. In that case, my Zhou family cannot be stingy. Let's reward him with a Foundation establishment-level spirit-gathering formation disc. Then it came to the Ning family ancestor's turn. Ning Jiufan coughed, pondered for a few breaths before slowly stroking his beard, and said calmly, Ning Zhuo is a member of our family. Contributing to the family is his duty. Pass my words along, the ancestor remembers his contributions to the family. As soon as his words were spoken, the other golden pill cultivators' expressions changed. These orders from the Golden Pill ancestors were conveyed and received by Ning Zhuo. At home, Ning Zhuo threw back his head and laughed heartily. He thought, just as I expected. He had anticipated the reactions of the Golden Pill cultivators, especially Zhu Xuanji, which is why he took such a calculated risk. Zhu Xuanji, being a significant figure, no longer acts solely based on personal preferences, even sometimes going against them. In Ning Zhuo's mind, when Zhu Xuanji temporarily set aside the investigation to fully immerse himself in the Immortal Palace, his threat significantly decreased. By ceasing his investigation, the pressure on Ning Zhuo decreased considerably. Revealing his true objective of seeking control over the Magma Fairy Palace made his actions predictable. Once Zhu Xuanji becomes the master of the Immortal Palace, he will become a significant force in Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Hence, he allied with the three families, foreseeing that the Meng family would also be his formidable rival. Ning Zhuo not only offered the Night Wind soft iron, but also proactively presented all the golden core level materials he had, a submissive stance precisely what Zhu Xuanji needed. Zhu Xuanji greatly desired to see all three families submit to him, making it easier for him to vie for the position of Immortal Palace Master, and for future control over Fire Persimmon Immortal City to confront the Meng family. Thus, when Ning Zhuo set himself as an example before him, even if Zhu Xuanji had many aversions to Ning Zhuo, he had to hold his nose and give Ning Zhuo much encouragement and rewards. Zhu Xuanji needed to demonstrate his capacity to further draw the three families closer to him. Ning Zhuo served as a benchmark. Zhu Xuanji could reward Ning Zhuo generously to show the outside world what kind of person he was, encouraging others to follow Ning Zhuo's example and submit to him. Zhu Xuanji, this divine hunter and outsider, is currently the leader of the alliance among the three families. As long as I manage to win him over, the other three Golden Pill ancestors will surely follow. Ha ha! Thus, a golden core cultivator is merely so, easily outwitted by me. Indeed, I am most suited to mix in the righteous path. Ning Zhuo was quite pleased. What delighted him the most was not Zhu Xuanji's royal mechanical artifact, nor the rewards from the Zheng family and Zhou family, but a single sentence from the Ning family ancestor, Ning Jiufan. In fact, Ning Zhuo believed the most valuable reward from the Golden Core cultivators was this sentence. He immediately summoned his subordinates, instructing them to spread the word with all their might, that Ning Zhuo had received recognition from the Ning family's Golden Pill ancestor. From now on, remember this, I am a meritorious person. I have assisted our family's Golden Pill ancestor, something not everyone can achieve. I am a great hero. I am a significant contributor to the Ning family. Ha ha ha! The news, like a wild wind, swept through the entire Ning family. With just a simple sentence, the entire Ning family was shaken to its core. The main branch was fearful, speculating about the intent behind the Golden Pill ancestors' words. The sub-branch, however, was jubilant, holding their heads high. Ning Zhuo being remembered by the Golden Pill ancestor surely indicated that the ancestor had high hopes for this young man. Didn't it suggest that the ancestor expected Ning Zhuo to become a family elder in the future? Previously, Ning Zhuo's talent, temperament, and methods had already garnered admiration. Additionally, the main branch had been suppressing the sub-branch so harshly that the sub-branch's resentment had been simmering, cleverly harnessed by Ning Zhuo, allowing him to control a considerable number of Foundation establishment subordinates, though he himself was just at the third level of qi refinement. These Foundation establishment cultivators were all elite of their kind. Now, Ning Zhuo had gained approval from the highest echelon of the Ning family. He had received recognition from the Ning family's Golden Pill ancestor, making his future incredibly promising. As long as he grew stronger, he was destined to hold a significant position in the power structure of the Ning family. And Ning Zhuo was from the sub-branch, the only future significant figure from the sub-branch. This was of immense importance, and when the news spread, many subordinates promptly sought out Ning Zhuo, eager to serve him. Initially, although Ning Zhuo had gathered a group of Foundation establishment cultivators as subordinates, it was because he had leveraged a mistake made by the main branch to turn the situation to his advantage. If it hadn't been for the main branch driving them away, those former stewards would have overwhelmingly preferred to serve as stewards within the family. They had no choice but to find a means of subsistence in the black market. The Ning family was, after all, part of the righteous path. Working in the gray areas of the black market was a necessity driven by current circumstances, not a proper course for the righteous path. The Ning family's foundation establishment cultivators, even when patrolling, wore masks as a veil of decency. However, this new group of Ning family members genuinely admired Ning Zhuo, certain of his bright future, which led them to voluntarily come forward to pledge their service. Ning Zhuo placed all of these people in the black market. Many felt troubled by this arrangement, expressing willingness to disperse their cultivation to explore the Immortal Palace and follow Ning Zhuo. Some were even willing to work in the mechanical workshop to create mechanism artifacts for Ning Zhuo. Ning Zhuo insisted on his decision regarding the black market and explained to them, "We are from the sub-branch ordinary people. We are inherently humble, people oppressed by the main branch. Being humble is not shameful. On the contrary, it can be an opportunity. Often, the soil is richer in nutrients. If you want to follow me, you need to have this awareness. Go to the black market, experience humility, and then rise step by step from the mud, proving that we are united. Think of our former stewards from the sub-branch. They are all foundation establishment elites, and they are all working in the black market. What do you compare to them?" Ning Zhuo's words were powerful, stern, and compelling, convincing everyone present. And this was just the beginning. The third day, the fourth day, every day, clan members from the branch families actively sought to pledge their loyalty to Ning Zhuo and offer their services. Ning Zhuo did not refuse anyone and accepted them all. What delighted him even more were the former stewards. The elite foundation establishment cultivators privately approached Ning Zhuo and eagerly recommended their descendants to him. This behavior held significant meaning in the righteous path. It indicated that these foundation establishment cultivators were truly loyal to Ning Zhuo, recognized his future, and were willing to entrust their descendants to him, as well as securing a future for them. Ning Zhuo had different requirements for these people. He noticed that the descendants of these former stewards were generally young and had low cultivation levels. Ning Zhuo appeared very cold. "If you want me to accept them, then have them disperse their cultivation and switch to cultivating the 5 elements qi regulation art." Many were worried about the subsequent cultivation techniques and hesitated, with only a small portion of the former stewards agreeing immediately. In a small courtyard, Ning Haozhen and Ning Yufu, 2 former family elders, were playing chess. Ning Yufu held a chess piece in his hand, lost in thought for a long time. Ning Haozhen couldn't help but urge, "Hurry up and make your move." Ning Yufu placed his chess piece on the board, sighing, "Fast, too fast." Ning Haozhen laughed heartily. "You're talking about Ning Zhuo, aren't you? This junior has indeed risen much faster than we ever imagined." Ning Yufu sighed, correcting, "Much faster." Ning Xiaohui's betrayal was originally a crisis, but Ning Zhu resolved it perfectly, turning it into a huge opportunity for himself instead. "Do you think this kid has his own methods, or does he have someone advising him?" Ning Haozhen glared. "What do you mean, praising yourself in front of me, are you?" Ning Yufu laughed loudly. "Old friend, you're still hiding from me. You've been slow at chess too." In the clan leader's study, Grandma Ning Xiaohui dragged Ning Xiaohui to visit the Ning family clan leader. "Kneel down." Grandma Ning Xiaohui's voice was stern and harsh. "Look at what you've done." Ning Xiaohui gritted her teeth, immediately knelt before the Ning family clan leader and said through clenched teeth, "Clan leader, I know I was wrong. This time it was my jealousy of Ning Zhuo. When I heard the ancestors needed night wind soft iron, I didn't think twice and reported Ning Zhuo. I was too impulsive. Instead, it gave him a golden opportunity to rise." At this point, Ning Xiaohui bit her lip in anger. She was furious. Originally, she thought she could frame Ning Zhuo, cause him heavy losses, and make him suffer in silence. Instead, she ended up being the clown. What she thought was a frame-up instead gave Ning Zhuo a chance, catching the eyes of the Golden Core cultivators, boosting his reputation, and rapidly expanding his personal influence over the past few days. Thinking about how she had paved the way for this, Ning Xiaohui even harbored thoughts of suicide. Grandma Ning Xiaohui watched the Ning family clan leader's expression closely. "Clan leader, although Xiaohui is my own granddaughter, this time she acted on her own and caused the main family line significant losses. How to severely punish her is entirely up to you." The Ning family clan leader stared at the grandmother and granddaughter before him, knowing that them voluntarily admitting their mistake and accepting punishment was the least damaging route for them. He couldn't help but snort coldly. Of course, severe punishment is necessary. However, Ning Xiaohui, you're currently helping the ancestors with artifact refining, and your role is significant. This clan leader will punish you by making you atone for your crimes through merit. Grandma Ning Xiaohui was overjoyed. Clan leader, you are wise. Thank you, clan leader. Once the grandmother and granddaughter left, the Ning family clan leader, in a fit of anger, grabbed the ink stone and threw it out. After smashing several items on the desk, he vented his anger, regained his composure, and wore a look of dejection. Ning Zhu's influence is growing. In just a few days, there had been drastic changes. A casual remark from the Ning family ancestor was fully utilized by Ning Zhu, causing his influence to swell by at least 7 times. His status within the entire family had risen several tiers. Ning Zhu wants some foundation establishment cultivators' descendants to switch to cultivating the 5 elements qi regulation art. He's trying to bypass the family's cultivation technique restrictions and pave a new path to advancement. His ambition is blatant. It's the Magma Fairy Palace that gave him this opportunity. Without the Immortal Palace, no matter how outstanding he is, what could he do? It's destiny. Isn't he known to be stingy and greedy? Why did he handle this so adeptly this time? Who is advising him behind the scenes? Thinking of this, the Ning family clan leader felt even more disheartened. Actually, who is advising Ning Zhu is of no importance at all. What matters is the attitude of the Golden Core ancestor. The source of power, for the most part, was violence. Golden Core cultivator Ning Jiufan was the strongest fighter in the clan, which naturally gave him the highest authority. Ning Jiufan was encouraging Ning Zhuo. This was Ning Jiufan's attitude, and it was why the entire Ning family's main line felt on edge. The Ning family clan leader secretly smiled bitterly. Ning Jiufan ancestor has ties of honor and affection with our main line, but over the years, we've troubled him too many times, draining too much of this bond. More than a decade ago, during the conflict between the main line and the branch line, the ancestor was already dissatisfied with the harsh punishments meted out to the main line. He hopes for the strength of the entire Ning family, not just the main line to thrive. Realizing this, the Ning family clan leader knew he could not stop Ning Zhuo. Originally, he had wanted to use Ning Zhuo's collection of clan members' flesh and blood as a leverage. But now, with Ning Zhuo having received the ancestor's recognition, if he publicly exposed Ning Zhuo, it would be akin to slapping the ancestor in the face. If he really did that, he would be a fool. What the Ning family clan leader could do was to secretly plant his people within Ning Zhuo's forces. Ning Zhuo quietly expanded his influence. Now, the number of clan members regularly offering their flesh and blood to him was at least 3 times more than before. This meant that Ning Zhuo's cultivation speed, using the demon-infused bloodline technique, was also 3 times faster. Ning Zhuo openly declared that he needed to refine a substitute puppet and required blood of the same origin for his research. No one doubted him. All suspicions were deeply suppressed during his moment of rising fame. With the recognition of the Golden Core ancestor, who would dare to question him? Ning Haojun and Ning Yufu expressed their approval, believing Ning Zhuo's cultivation level to be too low, only at the 3rd layer of qi refinement, and that he needed to grasp some life-saving techniques. Ning Yufu even gave Ning Zhuo a talisman. This is a substitute talisman. Keep it well for research, and remember to return it to me after your research is complete. The substitute talisman could take the place of a cultivator's body at a critical moment, saving a life if used properly. Life-saving resources and treasures were always the most precious. Ning Yufu valued Ning Zhuo's prospects so highly that he didn't hesitate to give him his own life-saving item for research, thereby showing his goodwill. Ning Zhuo's rise was beyond expectations. The former family elder, seeing things turning unfavorable, had no choice but to accelerate his investment. If he waited until Ning Zhuo was fully fledged to invest and show goodwill, the cost would be significantly higher, if not impossible. Ning Zhuo had never thought he would have such a windfall. He immediately decided in secret that such a valuable item must be kept. Researching substitute puppets is too difficult. Isn't it reasonable to take 10 or 8 years to study? The loss of the night wind soft iron did not hinder Ningzhu from continuing to refine the golden core level mechanical monkey. His influence surged, and by partnering with the Zhou family and the Zheng family, he could make an even bigger impact. By outsourcing dirty and tiring work, Ningzhu mobilized the power of the three righteous families in Fire Persimmon Immortal City on a grand scale to refine treasures for him. This junior named Ningzhu is indeed interesting, Zhou Nanjiang remarked. No wonder even that sly and crafty Fei Si acknowledges him, Zheng Danlian laughed. Ning Jiufan only smiled without speaking. Ning Zhu's actions stirred up a tumult in the Ning family, with the repercussions reaching the Zhou family and Zheng family. Recently, Ning Zhu became the most notable figure in the righteous path, and the source of all this was just one sentence from Ning Jiufan. To the Golden Core ancestors, Ning Zhu's matters were only interesting, a topic of casual conversation after meals. The night wind soft iron has been thoroughly checked and initially processed. Everyone, prepare for refinement, Zheng Xuangu announced. The Golden Core ancestors chose an auspicious time and sat in the array's key nodes. The light of the heavenly crafting lamp suddenly surged. Boundless underground fire was purified through the array, eliminating all fire fiends, toxins, and turbid gases, and was channeled into the heavenly crafting lamp. The lamp flame rapidly grew sevenfold, expanding from the size of a finger to a cup-sized volume. The divine senses of the Golden Core cultivators penetrated the flame, which burned fiercely, consuming them. The seemingly small flame hid an immense world within, containing the power of mustard seeds. Within it was a sea of fire. As the crimson flames burned fiercely, the mechanical weapon, like an ancient giant serpent, remained unyielding. Two Golden Core cultivators from the Zheng family acted in succession, casting artifact-refining spells. A volcano rose from the sea of fire, towering over the mechanical weapon, pressing it within the mountain. The flames outside surged, turning into red light as they entered the mountain. The red light illuminated the interior of the mountain, gradually softening the mechanical weapon. One by one, golden elixir-level materials were fed into the volcano, transforming into streams of five-colored smoke, merging into the mechanical weapon. The final material was the night wind soft iron. Lava poured over it, mingling with the smoke flow, quickly solidifying and completely filling the gaps in the mechanical weapon. However, the black serpent roared, fiercely resisting, twisting its body and attempting to bite its own weak spot. Wretched beast! Will you not submit and obediently surrender? Zheng Xuangu shouted, exerting his full power to cast spells. The flames formed chains, tightly binding the black serpent. The Zheng family clan leader stepped into the external array, fully activating his talent, tempering through 1,000 hammers. In the world of the flame lantern, the crimson flames condensed into countless hammers, swarming over the black serpent, pounding relentlessly. Bang, bang, bang. With each strike, the black serpent's resistance weakened slightly, and the fire hammers shattered in the process. After 1,000 strikes, the black serpent collapsed, though its expression remained fierce and unyielding. Zheng Xuangu, drenched in sweat, ceased his control, hurriedly sat down and devoured elixir pills, replenishing his energy with all his might. Zheng Danlian took on the responsibility alone, urging the flames to continue refining the mechanical weapon. The black serpent's body emitted a dense, dark aura, resembling willow branches swaying and easily resisting the raging flames. Seeing this, golden light flashed in Zhu Xuanji's eyes. This seems to be an old artifact of the Night Rain dynasty. You have really calculated well, making me, a member of the Southern Bean Country royal family and the Divine Hunter office, help you refine a forbidden object. Zhou Nanjiang smiled. Lord Zhu, your words are inappropriate. As far as I know, the Southern Bean dynasty has not explicitly banned the old artifacts of the Night Rain. Zhu Xuanji's expression was stern as he snorted coldly. While Night Rain demon soldiers are undoubtedly powerful, they are extremely demonic and often turn on their masters. Mishandling them could lead to our demise. This weapon cannot be used. Demon nature? It's just a weapon. Whether it's used for good or for evil depends on the user. Zheng Danlian shook his head. Zhu Xuanji. The cultivation techniques, spells, and artifact refining methods of the Night Rain dynasty have been almost completely lost after being eradicated and sealed off by one dynasty and two empires. They are vastly different from what we have now. Your perspective only applies to the cultivation methods we are familiar with, but it is not applicable to the Night Rain dynasty. Consider this. During the Night Rain dynasty, whenever night fell, the entire world would be plunged into endless slaughter under the cover of darkness. Despair and madness filled the darkness, leaving no room for the people to live. Wasn't there anyone sane in the whole world? The cultivation techniques themselves had significant flaws. With such methods, how could the weapons refined be without flaws? The group of golden core cultivators fell into silence. Zheng Xiangu had to nod. Indeed, every relic from the Night Rain dynasty is overly bloodlust-driven. But then he changed his tone. That's why we've thought long and hard to come up with a comprehensive refining method for it. In this refining method, we first make it lifeless, then bring it back to life, essentially cleansing and renewing it. Lord Divine Hunter, we understand your concerns, which are also ours. Why not follow our predetermined plan and refine it first? At worst, once we enter Fire Persimmon Mountain, we simply won't use it. So be it, Zhu Xuanji sighed gently. The current situation left him with no choice. He had been slightly outmaneuvered by the 3 Golden Core families. However, he was also in need of the 3 Golden Core families, so he had to compromise. The light from the heavenly craft lamp grew increasingly intense, casting a red glow over the entire refining room. The red light permeated the surroundings, even penetrating the powerful array in operation. Every Golden Core cultivator's face was bathed in a crimson hue. The red glow thickened progressively, condensing into fluffy clusters, forming clouds that filled the refining room. The temperature inside rapidly soared. The heavenly craft lamp was specifically designed to gather and concentrate the power of flames into a single point, creating a potent melting force. The fact that this heat was able to leak out indicated that the heavenly craft lamp had been pushed to its limit, with the flame's temperature reaching an alarmingly high degree. Within the world of the lamp flame, fierce flames burned, reaching up to 7 or 8 yards, completely engulfing the mechanical black snake. The mechanical black snake lay on the ground motionless, the dark shadow emanating from it shrank to its surface, and its demonic aura became extremely weak. Even so, the expression of the black snake remained defiant, resentful, and full of hatred, unwilling to submit. Zheng Danlian's complexion turned ashen, and his body swayed slightly. He had exhausted too much mana in a short period, leaving even his golden core in a weakened state. Fortunately, Zheng Xiangu, having rested quickly, had recovered to 30% of his strength and hurried over to fully support Zheng Danlian. Both of them cultivated the same technique and now jointly performed a spell. Spell, Dragon ascends the sea of flames. With a dragon's roar, the towering flames of 7 or 8 yards rose, transforming into fire dragons in midair. The fire dragons circled and intertwined. Soon, they dove down, crashing into the mechanical black snake on the ground. Boom. Boom, boom. Each impact unleashed boundless fire waves. The fire dragons dissipated, but quickly reformed from the fire waves, their forms shrinking slightly, then flew into the air. Within the fire waves, the shadow enveloping the mechanical black snake continuously retracted until it vanished from its surface. The black snake hissed in pain, unable to withstand the relentless assault of the fire dragons, gradually melting from head to tail. The 2 Golden Core elders of the Zheng family watched closely, their expressions tense. When the mechanical black snake was completely melted beyond recognition, the Zheng family's Golden Core elders exchanged glances and nodded in unison. It's time! They performed a finger spell, suddenly releasing the mechanical black snake. The black snake was placed into the array outside the lamp, immediately locked and fixed in midair by the array. The Ning family ancestor had long been ready, fully unleashing a frost spell. Beside him, Ning Xiaohui also extended her hands, urging her innate talent, Ice Jade Hands. The 2 forces combined, ultimately forming a miniature blizzard whirlwind that enveloped the entire mechanical black snake. The black snake was lifted, its body straightened by the pure white whirlwind. The blizzard whirlwind dissipated quickly, leaving behind a circular ice pillar, trapping the mechanical black snake within. The black snake's aura within the biting cold ice pillar gradually dissipated until none remained. The ice pillar began to change, exuding a faint breath of life amid the freezing cold aura. This was the quality change produced by Ning Xiaohui's participation in the refining with her innate talent. Within the ice pillar, the breath of life grew stronger. The mechanical black snake's body also swiftly regenerated at a visible pace. When the breath of life reached its peak, it suddenly vanished, and the ice pillar shattered, transforming into countless ice shards. The fine ice shards disintegrated into nothingness as they fell to the ground. Finally, left on the ground was a perfectly intact mechanical black snake, with a huge and flat snake head. The world died by dancing fire dragons, cold snow freezes to bring new life. Marvelous, simply marvelous. Zheng Danlian's eyes sparkled as he was the first to touch the mechanical black snake. His divine sense merged with his mana and poured into it. Compared to the previous obstruction, this time his mana flowed smoothly throughout the mechanical black snake. Click, click, click. After a series of light clicks, the mechanical black snake quickly transformed into a jet black scythe with a long handle, held by Zheng Danlian. Zheng Danlian took out a remaining piece of night wind, soft iron, and threw it into the air. As the iron ingot fell, the long-handled scythe in Zheng Danlian's hand gave a slight tremor. A ghostly light flickered momentarily. When the night wind soft iron fell to the ground, it had already been divided into 10 smooth pieces. Zhu Xuanji saw this, his pupils contracted slightly, and he was greatly shocked, exclaiming in a low voice, "So sharp!" Zheng Danlian gently stroked the surface of the scythe, his face full of affection and excitement. Zheng Xuangu laughed heartily. If it weren't so, why would our clan go to such great lengths and expense to refine it? Zhou Nanjiang congratulated the Golden Core elders of the Zheng family. A great success in weapon refining this time. Zhu Xuanji took a deep breath, his expression turning solemn. Even so, strict precautions are necessary. What you have obtained is an artifact from the Night Rain dynasty. For it to have survived through the ages, it must not be simple. Our weapon refinement this time is based on an ancient relic. It had already taken shape using the techniques from the Night Rain dynasty. We were merely processing it and couldn't fully understand its mysteries. This goes without saying. Zheng Danlian continued to stroke the scythe, responding absent-mindedly, with significant perfunctory intent. Zhu Xuanji's face darkened several degrees. The Zheng family's mechanical weapon had already been refined, but Ning Zhu's golden core-level mechanical monkey was still in the making, in the artifact refining workshop. More than 30 artifact refining cultivators worked bare-chested, dripping sweat amidst the rising heat and firelight, continuously hammering. The collision between hammers and iron ingots sparked with each strike. The hammering of Wanjikshuan iron required skilled artifact refining cultivators to use their mana forging refining patterns to be successful. Once enough refining patterns accumulated, they connected in an instant, significantly enhancing the iron's quality. This was almost universally applicable to all metal refining. And with Wanjikshuan iron, this was particularly evident. Earth-level artifact refining room. Innate talent, opening gold and stone. Zheng Hua used his innate talent on red sun copper. The latter gradually melted into a pool. The liquefied red sun copper flowed through channels into the furnace, immediately subjected to intense heat. Frequent use of his innate talent made Zheng Hua's complexion pale, requiring him to constantly take elixir pills. The Zhou family. More than a dozen array cultivators sat around a long table in a circle. They squinted their eyes, bent over, carefully examining the walnut-sized mountain essence. The mountain essence was tiny, resembling a walnut kernel. It was the essence of mountain stone, heavy and sturdy, capable of bearing numerous array patterns. Consequently, it was often used as an array base. Each array cultivator, some holding fine awls, others grinding with mana, meticulously scrutinized the mountain essence. Ning Zhu diligently continued his cultivation. Others took charge of refining the mechanical parts, while he concentrated on his own. This was the utility of managing a force. Tasks that could be entrusted to others were delegated, saving vast amounts of personal time and energy, allowing oneself to focus on more critical matters. Though my force has now grown over sevenfold, there remains significant room for further expansion. Ning Zhu's current influence was far from being fully developed. He lacked various talents, requiring assistance from the other two families to meet this refining need. He was cultivating the demon-infused bloodline technique, still using the crude mechanical monkey as a temporary measure. His progress in demonic cultivation ranked second in speed. The mirror stand spirit communication technique remained lightning fast. Ever since Ningzhu cultivated this technique, he had never encountered a bottleneck, advancing swiftly. He always prioritized it, and his divine cultivation did not disappoint. This left him speculating during his leisure. Why is my talent in Buddhist technique so outstanding? Is it due to the early wisdom innate talent? Or is it because of some mysterious innate talent within me? Or maybe it's because I am inherently of the righteous path, genuinely maintaining justice and promoting virtue, aligning with Buddhist principles. Among the 3 cultivation techniques, the 5 elements qi regulation art progressed the slowest. However, Ningzhu still had 2 measures of ice jade wine as a fallback, so he wasn't worried for the time being. All 3 techniques saw progress, and Ningzhu, while refining his essence, energy, and spirit, also actively practiced spells. His primary focus was on the 5 elements intergeneration and interrestriction technique. Each time he practiced, he utilized the 5 elements ruler. This magic artifact quickly separated his 5 elements mana into 5 distinct forces. Ningzhu then used these 5 forces to continuously generate or extinguish the corresponding mana, often gaining insights and becoming highly proficient. As for exploring the Immortal Palace, he did so 3 times a day. The focus of these explorations wasn't the Buddhist sect or the Taoist sect, but the demon sect. He selected numerous rewards from the demon sect, many of which were applied to the newly refined mechanical monkey. For instance, the blood spring jar and the rampant thought's chaotic drum.